NASA administrator, and the chief of the astronauts office, who made it, helped us understand them in a much more personal way than we had even until now with all of their biographies. Each of them, the president said, had the daring and discipline required of their calling. Remembering today 7 lives of purpose. The president saying what everybody in that community knows: to leave behind air and gravity is an ancient dream, and great endeavors mean great risk. A lot of debate in the last couple of days, and it will continue, about the validity and the wisdom of man in space. But the president said today, as one would fully expect a president to do at the moment, that the program will go on because the decision to explore the heavens is written in the human heart. And in this community, again, as the president said, we all sense at our respective distances that the loss falls unfairly on the few. I want to thank my colleagues, particularly Gene Cernan and Sally Ride, who know better than the rest of us what this must be like. I'm Peter Jennings for ABC News.
This has been a presentation of ABC News.
This is ABC.
This is Eyewitness News. Now, Gene Gleason, Giovanna Laura, and Johnny Mountain with the Southland's #1 news at 11.
A nation mourns 7 heroes with a somber tribute to the Shuttle Columbia astronauts amidst the tears of promise to continue their work in space.
Persevere.
Good morning to you. I'm Philip Palmer, in for Gene Gleason, who is on assignment in Texas.
I'm Kathy Barra, in for Giovanna Laura. President Bush, astronauts, families, members of the NASA team, and members of Congress all are gathered at the Johnson Space Center in Houston to remember the crew of Columbia. We have live team coverage. Eyewitness News reporter Jean Gleason is in Houston, and Leanne Suter is at a local memorial. Let's begin with Jean.
Well, Kathy, the focus of the Johnson Space Center here in Houston since Saturday has been one of sorrow and professionalism. Professionalism, as all the NASA workers have scrambled to try to learn why Columbia came apart on re-entry on Saturday. But today they took a needed pause, a pause to remember their 7 fallen heroes.
They go in peace for all mankind, and all mankind is in their debt. Yet some explorers do not return, and the law settles unfairly on a few. The families here today shared in the courage of those they loved. But now they must face life and grief without them. The sorrow is lonely, but you are not alone. In time, you will find comfort and the grace to see you through.
The families, of course, were here, the families of those 7 fallen astronauts, solemn in their grief, but trying to put a brave face on their incredible loss that they suffered when Columbia departed 2.5 weeks ago. It was daddy and mommy and husband and wife and brother and sister and son and daughter who launched to the heavens. Then, of course, on Saturday morning, they became part of everyone's family. President Bush tried to console them this morning. At one point, he handed Commander Rick Husband's son a handkerchief. The boy used that hanky to dry his eyes and then handed it back to the president. The president, as you heard a moment ago, said that they chose this course not for themselves to become astronauts, but they chose it for the entire world. And the chief of astronauts said that he will miss all 7, and went down the line and the personal lives that they lived and how close they were as a family, a professional family here in Houston. But of course they are gone now, and NASA has to push on. The president did make that pledge that he spoke a couple of days ago, that the space shuttle program will continue here in America. Live at the Johnson Space Center, Jean Gleason, ABC7 Eyewitness News, back to you in Los Angeles.
Gene, thank you, and of course we'll hear more from you later today. Caltech and the Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena have a very close bond with their NASA colleagues in Houston. This morning, they gathered to watch the Houston service. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter joins us now live from Pasadena with that part of the story. Leanne?
Philip, many here feel they are part of the NASA family, given the work Caltech scientists and professors have done on several missions. It is a very solemn day on campus today. Everyone painfully aware of the devastating loss. Close to 150 people gathered at the school's auditorium to watch a live satellite feed of the memorial service at Johnson Space Center. With tears and heavy hearts, they joined together to honor the fallen astronauts and to support each other as they mourn the loss. There is a strong connection here with NASA, and for many, today is especially difficult. But one professor we spoke with, who has worked on several space missions, says it's not just this campus that is mourning. He says the entire nation feels the pain.
It feels important for me this morning to be here just to support the cause of the astronauts, the cause of Columbia, and the families.
Well, I expect it to be difficult, but yeah, it's important to have an opportunity to bring it to closure, I guess.
The NASA program and manned spaceflight in general has always been a risky undertaking, and it's important to remember this. And I'm sure the people that chose to be on this flight and on every previous flight understood this very well, and we all owe them respect.
Now, many of the people who couldn't turn out for the service in the auditorium, they all watched it live on the internet and on the school's closed circuit TV. Live in Pasadena, Leanne Suter, ABC7 Eyewitness News. Leanne, thank you. Across Southern California, the Columbia astronauts are being remembered with special tributes this morning. In Sylmar, students at Osceola Elementary School have gathered to honor the astronauts in a very special way. And for more, we go live to Sylmar now, and Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Sykes. Leslie?
Well, Kathy, learning about the Columbia accident and viewing the memorial service was a very important lesson for students here at Osceola Street School. They learned about patriotism, courage, and willing sacrifice. Several of the students watched as the nation paid tribute to the 7 astronauts. Earlier this morning, the entire student body honored the space crew before classes began.
On Saturday, February 1st, 7 astronauts lost their lives when the Space Shuttle Columbia was trying to land.
With solemn words,
please listen to the Star Spangled Banner and then join us in the singing This Land is Your Land.
And with song, students at Osceola Elementary School paid tribute to the Columbia crew.
I thought it was sad because they were trying to explore the universe and they felt so happy to go over there, and they might not have imagined they were going to die and they were going to come back.
Not one of these students is old enough to remember the last shuttle disaster when the Challenger exploded on launch some 17 years ago. This is all new to them, yet they seem to understand fully. This morning, they proudly waved 7 American flags, one for each Columbia crew member, as they reflected on the crew's courage, the mission, and what it all means to America.
I feel sad because they were they served their life just to go up there.
They trained really hard, and at the end they just crashed.
Principal Mary Bonilla says though they are young, these students were affected by the Columbia explosion. Recently, they have been more subdued at school. And as always, there is a lesson.
This is part of life, and any child can have a goal, whether it's an astronaut, a firefighter, a teacher, that it is a goal, and that unfortunately these are the kinds of things that may occur.
So students are encouraged not to be deterred. In fact, just about an hour ago, a man was walking with his son to the school, and he told me, he said, ask him what he wants to be when he grows up, and I did, and the boy said, an astronaut. So dreams are still alive here at Osceola Street School and all over Southern California. Reporting live, Leslie Sykes, ABC7 Eyewitness News. Back to you.
Leslie, thank you. Don't expect quick answers about what caused the Columbia disaster. That word this morning from Admiral Harold Gemin, the head of the independent panel investigating the catastrophe. A key component of the shuttle has been found near Hemp Hill, Texas. A piece of the nose cone was discovered off the road in Sabine County. Another major find in Nacogdoches. Teams located part of a casing that could house significant electronic data. Teams are now scouring the area in a grid pattern.
Some of what this has been able to accomplish for us is we have found more key components. We have found more cabin components, including one of the seats from the cockpit. We have found a few more remains.
Investigators say those items probably would not have been found without using a grid pattern search.
As we first told you on Saturday, there are those who believe the shuttle began to first show signs of trouble while over California. I'll show you some video from amateur photographer Rick Baldridge in San Jose, who believes he can see something falling from the shuttle while Columbia was over California. Others have agreed, even though Baldridge says he initially didn't notice anything unusual.
About the only comment anyone made was that the color seemed a little different, a little brighter, maybe a little bit more orange, but nothing that would have tagged it as being something wrong.
Several photographers and a scientist also say what they saw, they believed debris was falling from the shuttle while it passed over Owens Valley.
NASA is asking the CHP to be on the lookout for debris that may have fallen from the Space Shuttle Columbia as it passed over California early Saturday morning. The Inyo County Sheriff's Station was flooded with phone calls just minutes before the shuttle broke up over Texas. Residents noticed something terribly wrong as Columbia flew overhead.
It was almost like a falling star, but it had a red glow, red tinge to it.
There was no doubt that parts of the shuttle were coming off as it came over California. No doubt in my mind.
These are images of Columbia as it streaked over eastern California Saturday morning. NASA officials say if what residents and photographers observed is true, it could provide vital clues for their investigation.
A team of dogs from California is in Texas today to help with the search for evidence and remains from the Columbia disaster. The dogs and their handlers left Menlo Park in Northern California last night. They are specially trained to detect human remains and forensic evidence. They make up half of the teams mobilized by the Federal Emergency Management Agency for the search effort. And remember to keep it right here on ABC7 for the latest developments in the investigation into the Columbia disaster. We'll have live team coverage on Eyewitness News, and that starts at 4.
In a new interview, Saddam Hussein denies that his government has any relationship with the al-Qaeda terrorist group. The interview comes as Saddam